Hi, welcome to the Google Drive Learning Series. This video is all about organization. As we all know, everybody has their own organizational techniques or ways that they like to remember things or house things. So through this video, hopefully I'll give you a few tips of how to better organize your drive so that you can easily search and find things that you need. First thing we're going to talk about is naming files. Naming files is extremely important, not only because for organization, but also because you can use this search feature if you name your document properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a Google Doc. And up at the top left corner, it says Untitled Document. So anytime you're in a doc or a drawing or a slide, anything in Google, at the top left is where you're going to click to add or change the name. Let's say I want this document to be all about phases of the moon. I could title it Phases of the Moon, or I can be more specific and say this is going to be Phases of the Moon Notes. After I name my document, it automatically saves in my drive. So I don't have to click save or do anything like that. It will automatically show up in your drive. If I want to change the name of my document while I'm still in the document, all I have to do is click back up here, and maybe I want to add picture notes. I could add or adjust the title however you see fit. We're going to talk about editing more when we talk about the Google applications, but that's more so about how to name a document. It is extremely important to name a document because if you don't name the document, it's going to stay untitled document. So let me show you what I mean. In your drive, if you scroll all the way to the end, you're going to see a whole lot of untitles here. This means I didn't give these a name and I don't really know how to organize them. So if I were trying to find any of these documents, I would have a very hard time finding them. If you have an untitled document, it's very, very easy to go in and rechange the title. You can either click into the document and again click on the top left and you can change it. Typically, if you click at the top left where the title is, it'll change it to the first word or the sentence there that's in the document. Or, go back here, and you can also right-click this in the grid. If you right-click, you're going to have a host of things that you can do. So rename is one of the options. If I go to rename, I can now change this multiplication and division website help. Click OK, and notice it's going to go away. It's not in the untitled section anymore, but it's now alphabetical. The reason that it's alphabetical is because of the way that I have my filter set. So you can change your filter for the way things are laid out in ABC order, or you can do reverse sort so it goes backwards or like Z to A. You can also sort based on the day that you changed things or edited, or the days that you last opened them. So the more used would be at the top and the less used would be at the bottom. But regardless, this toggle is always available regardless if you're doing dates or the names. Another feature of Google Drive, sorry, is that you can create folders. So a lot of times if you are working like as a student, you have all different subjects, and you, just like with a notebook, you may want to keep all of your math things together, all of your art things together, all of your language arts things together, and you can do that by creating folders. So if I click New up at the top right or top left, I can create a new folder that is almost like a notebook or a folder that you would tangibly have. So if I am going, I'm going to start a new folder, and I'm going to call this My Classwork 2021, because this is the 2020-2021 school year. Notice that once I create this, that folder shows up at the top. I can click into this folder, and then I can add folders in folders. So if I want to have another folder, and I'm going to call it my math folder, I can create that, and it's working very hard. There's my math folder. I can have an ELA folder. I can have a science folder. And I can just keep going. I can have a social studies folder. Maybe I'm going to have an art folder or a band folder. However you want to create it, whatever classes you have. So now that you have these folders, you can intentionally put and create things in these folders so that you know where they are. So if I created something for math, or if I had an assignment in math, I knew that I could click in math and put it there. I can also, if I already have things that are saved to my computer, I can upload them to these folders. So if I upload a file from my computer, maybe I took a screenshot of a math problem that I think I deleted all my math problems. You can easily upload a file that way. You can also create within the file or folder by going to New, and then you can create a Google Doc and it'll put it in that folder. Let's say that you already have things in your drive that you want moved to those folders. So let me go back down to my, maybe this vocabulary list I want put into my language arts folder. It's very easy to do that. You just find your document, you right click on it, and this menu pops up, and then you can go to the Move To. So once you click Move To, this document, the title should still be highlighted. That's how you know that excuse me, you're moving this one document. And then you can choose the folder up at the top that you are moving it to. So my classwork, I'm going to press the arrow because I'm putting it in that folder. It's going to give me my new options. So if I just press like ELA, it's going to move it into that folder. But if I have a folder within a folder, I'm going to want to make sure I press the arrow because it goes into the folder. So if I press that, I see that the folder's empty, and it is because I just created it. And I can move this document here, and it goes away from your dashboard. So it's no longer in the dashboard where all the other documents are. It's now in this folder. So I can check by going to my classwork, going to ELA, and then my vocabulary list is there. If for some reason you were to have moved it and not know where you move it to, you can always go back up here to search as long as you know the title of your document. That's why it's very important to name it correctly. You can always go and click search, and you can type in and find whatever you're looking for. Similarly, sometimes we all create documents that we don't really need anymore, or we don't mean to create. So, for instance, here's some highlighted, this document of highlights that I have created from a Google Read and Write that I don't need anymore. If you don't need a document anymore and you want to get it out of your dashboard, you want to delete it, you go to the document, you right click, and you can click remove. Once you click remove, it's going to be moved into your trash file. Let's say you have mistakenly trashed something that you need. You can always click in your trash file, and then you will find things that you have thrown in the trash. If you want to empty your trash, that is, if you're in your trash, you can click up at the top right and you can empty your trash, and then they go away. Finally, the last organizational tool that I'm going to talk about is Google Keep. So some of you may be looking for some virtual options of like checklist or to-do list, keeping yourself organized. Google Drive actually has a really cool thing called Google Keep. So if you go to your waffle, you can click it here, or if you make sure you're in Chrome, you can type in keep.google.com. It's going to take you to your Google Keep. So this is where you can add in work to-dos or maybe homework to-dos. And then once you have added these things in, you can check them off almost like you would a to-do list. So to start a note, you come up here to take a note, and then you use these tools down here at the bottom. So if I wanted a checklist, well, here's a note. Map testing is going to be 8/2/2020. Okay, so you can change the color of that. You can change however you want to organize it. If you like to color code, or if you like to, however your organizational tool is. So there's my note. And then within my note, I can show checkboxes. So if I want to add some things for today, maybe I need to study for my social studies test. Maybe I need to do module 3, lesson 4 in my ELA Canvas course. Whatever, and you could title it like homework, you can title it to do, and you can put the date, 8/1/20, whatever, and then once you finish it, if you do that, you can just click it and it checks it off and takes it off of the list. So that way you can kind of keep up with things. You can add cute little pictures. You can change and the colors of it. So maybe you wanted all of your social studies things in yellow and all of your math things in purple, whatever you want to do. It's just a really cool feature that is within your Google Drive that you have access to. So have a great day.